Welcome to the Law of Positivism podcast. I'm Shireen Oberg, and I'm a yoga teacher and author devoted to the path of healing and heart-based living. And I want to help you to step into what you truly are and to your highest potential. On this podcast, I share with you tools and insights to help you move ever forward on your spiritual and healing path. With guests from all over the world, from different wisdom traditions, I wish to create a web of loving energy that permeates the whole world to create more love and peace. You can connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for more guidance and love. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm so happy and grateful that you're here. I hope that the Gemini season was beautiful for you, that you were able to organize your thoughts, especially as we had the Mercury retrograde, and that you came out from this inner space into this communicative social place, but with healthy boundaries, as I spoke about in the last solo episode. And it's been a lot of shifts, and I think that we are feeling the shift right now. We've had a beautiful month so far, and we have just entered the Cancer season. So I'm going to talk about the Cancer season, what it means for us, but also about the summer solstice that just occurred, and Litha and Midsummer, all of these traditions, and also get into, of course, the new moon in Cancer, which is in 1 week, so on the 28th of June. And for that new moon, I just want to quickly share that me and Diana Westley, she's an evolutionary astrologer, amazing at everything that she does. And we've been, as you know, hosting these online ceremonies and celebrations for different points of the year, different lunations, and we decided to, of course, do a online ceremony gathering meditation on June 28th because we really want to harness this beautiful Cancerian, feminine, intuitive, womb-centered energy that we're receiving on the new moon to also start this summer in a beautiful way, to clear our wombs, work with the Divine Mother, work with our mother lineage, our womb lineage. It's going to be very much focused on womb healing. And womb healing is not just, it's not only a physical practice and that we do for a physical benefit. It's also an energetic space of creativity, creation. It's a space of regeneration, of life and death. It's a space that we can work with that connects us so far back to the cosmic womb that created everything. And we can work with wherever we are in our cycles to learn how to harness each part of the cycle, the blood. And all of these things we will talk about and practice during the session. We have an early bird discount up until the 25th. So if you are interested, you can click the link in the show notes and read more, or just visit lawofpositivism.com. We would love to have you there. Each session that we've had so far has been so beautiful, women from all over the world, and we gather in this virtual circle. And as we're working with our own healing, we're also facilitating and supporting each other. There's always some sharing, questions coming up live. And if you can't join live, because it's going to be on a Tuesday, Central European time at 7 p.m. So that's going to be midday in the US. And if you are not able to join live, you can still have the recording, the transmission. The energy is high still if you're also practicing it after the live, and that everyone gets the recording, so you can practice for the upcoming weeks. Everything that we're doing there is still gonna benefit you to practice whenever throughout the year as well. So if you have any questions about that, if you're getting the recording, not joining live, you can always connect with us and share your experience and also ask questions, of course. We would love to see you there. So that's for the new moon in Cancer, which I will talk about a little bit, but in the last episode we also spoke about the new moon in Cancer. But I'm gonna get into it, but I want to start by saying that we have just had the summer solstice. And the summer solstice is a very important midpoint. If you look at the calendar as a wheel, and it starts with January on the top, you can see that we are midpoint on the bottom right now, and we're exactly opposite the winter solstice. And it is the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, but it's actually the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere, like in Australia, other places that are south. So it's a different energy, because at the summer solstice, the sun is exalted. It's in its highest, most brightest place. We have the longest day. So for example, here in Sweden, it's almost bright the whole day and night. There's a window of a few hours in the middle of the night which is dark, but then it comes back. So it's really high and very powerful right now, the sun. And that's the fire element. It's our yang energy. It gives us energy right now. So that's why summer is so much more energized than the other seasons and the other elements. And fire in Chinese medicine is associated with the heart, and that is joy. It's all about bringing out this loving, beautiful energy from the heart space out into the world. At this time also Mother Earth is thriving. So in the priestess tradition that I'm in, we moved from about 6 weeks ago, we had the blood mysteries, which is so beautiful. It's part of the feminine energy, the divine feminine, the goddess. And now we're moving into the sovereignty and the enthronement, the queenhood, the very independent and strong force of the goddess. And we can see that in nature. It's thriving. It's also very nourishing, which is also an aspect of the goddess. And at this time, it's in many, many cultures and traditions, this is also called Midsummer. Especially here in the northern hemisphere, we still celebrate Midsummer, and this occurs the weekend after the summer solstice. So for us, Midsummer Eve is on Friday, and Midsummer Day is on Saturday. And this is a beautiful nature celebration ritual that has been going on for so long that we don't know. And exactly like the other midpoint, like the winter solstice would be the celebration of the birthing of the sun. Right now we're actually celebrating the sun at its highest point, but after this point, the sun will slowly, for the upcoming 6 months, start to fade away, to die and resurrect. So there's many beautiful synchronicities and threads that we see in these stories, mythologies, and we can see this as, if we talk about the goddess, especially Ishtar or Inanna that I'm working with, it's the same goddess, different names, but in her stories, she's exalted by visiting her grandfather and receiving so many blessings and gifts from him. And they are physical, they are mental, emotional, magical, and she's becoming exalted and so powerful in her own strength. And after that, she decides to go into the underworld. So there is this slow phase, these steps, 7 steps of going inward and downward after this. So we've been in this exaltation phase since her resurrection, and it's so beautiful. It's a balancing. It's also connected to the Cancer season, of course. And what is beautiful with this season, it's actually, my sun is in Cancer, so I'm always very happy when the sun moves into Cancer, even when I'm not aware of it, and just feeling the energy of this beautiful divine mother energy. It's just so healing. So we're also moving right now from the time of being in this airy element of Gemini, Mercury, fast, moving forward, learning, writing, communication, short trips, siblings, neighbors, all of these things. And we're coming back home within ourselves, maybe physically, emotionally, mentally. We're coming back. And if we can see that all of creation comes from the birthing, from a cosmic womb or mother, it's kind of like coming back to our source. So it doesn't need to be understood from the headspace, the thoughts. It has to be connected down into the heart and womb. And that's where Chinese medicine is so beautiful, because the womb and the heart are connected. And I see it as they're feeding each other. And they are intelligent physical organs, but also energetic spaces. And so with the summer solstice every year, the sun moves into Cancer. Cancer is the 4th sign of the zodiac. It's the part of the astrological journey that we do in life that has to do, so we start with Aries. It's our birthing, identification, who we are here, who we are becoming, and then we start to understand ourselves in relation to the world through Taurus, our physical body, what we value. And then we start with the 3rd step, with the mind and thoughts and understanding creation through our thinking and logics. And now we're moving into the 4th space. And you see, Aries starts the spring and Cancer starts the summer. So we've come to a different space in the zodiac now. It's a shift now from the spring equinox to the summer solstice. The Cancer season is about our subtle body, our emotional body, our intuition. It's water element. It's so powerful because it is connecting us back to the mother. And this energy is within us all. It doesn't matter what gender you identify with. It's about mothering ourselves, mothering something or someone else, mothering the earth, being in communion with the Divine Mother. It's about also nourishing that inner child if we don't have children ourselves. It's about understanding so if you look at the crab, it has the shell and it's soft inside, and that shell is these healthy emotional boundaries that we have to set. And with Cancer energy, Cancerians, it's about finding this inner softness, but also having these very clear boundaries. And the emotional body is very much connected, of course, to the physical body, the energetic body. They're all working together. And when we are a balanced water element, we are in touch with our emotions, because Cancer does not experience the world from the head. It experiences it from the heart and the emotional layer. So it makes sense of the world through the heart. And in yoga and meditation, I always teach to release the everything that's going on in the head, all the energy and focus that we have in the head, and releasing it down into the heart. And when we go into the womb space, we go into an even more intuitive place. So in this season now, we can start slowing down again, and usually this naturally happens as school stops. You have maybe more vacation, there's more a relaxed energy, and this is all in the northern hemisphere, of course, connected to this beautiful summer. In this southern hemisphere now has been the winter solstice, which is the resurrection of the sun, and there's a balance there of the fire coming back and the water. Now we're going into the water element in astrology. The water element in Chinese medicine is a little bit different. It's connected to the emotion of fear. So that's what we work with in the winter, and that's maybe in the southern hemisphere more prominent. But as in the northern hemisphere, we have the fire element in the summer now. We are working with the emotion of joy. And I really feel like the moving from Gemini to Cancer is a big shift. So it's like boom, like just dropping down. And then the Cancer is slowly, during these 4 weeks, building something from within that will then in the Leo season burst out as an expression from the heart. Because the Leo season is also about that inner child and innocence, but it's also expressing this, and this creativity comes out. During the Cancer season, we can become more identified with our emotions. So in yoga, it's all about observation. Observe your emotions, honor your emotions, write them down, give them space, and then understand that they are like waves, coming and going, never consistent, and they are therefore something that we can observe and not identify with. But it's also through emotions that we connect to everything in our world and to others. So it's a very important way of relating to the world. So if you look at these upcoming 4 weeks, like how can you start working with your emotional body deeper and deeper? And in my book, The Law of Positivism, Live a Life of Higher Vibrations, Love and Gratitude, I have written about the healing of the emotions, what different emotions can mean, and what it is that these emotions are rooted in and how we can work with them. Certain emotions are there with us for years and years. Certain emotions are there just for a short period of time. Whatever they are there for a reason, and we need to work with them and sometimes alchemize and transform them to create something. There's nothing that we cannot use to create something else from within us. So the thoughts, the emotions give energy to our thoughts and our actions, our intentions. So during this time, you can have a clear intention that you want to maybe work on emotional healing, and then also creating this safety, because Cancer is connected to safety, this cradling of yourself and maybe others, connecting back to your home, creating sacred space in your home, maybe becoming very in tune with what it is in your home that gives you energy, and what might be not doing that, and how you can like arrange things in the home so that you can feel safe, and that inner home within your heart that is always there, also being a beautiful safe space for you. And then also connecting, this is very much connected to our family lineage. So I see this time definitely as a time to connect with the ancestors, with our living family. It's about connecting to our roots in our physical space, maybe a physical place that is a home, land, or something that is connected to our lineage that does also charge our DNA. So this is very important. And also if you do have your own family with children, really having this time to nourish that and to grow together during this time. And it's about this beautiful connection to our physical family lineage. And it can also, of course, be a family that we have chosen ourselves in the form of friends and others that we have a soul connection, soul family as well. So this time is a really beautiful time. And lastly, on a spiritual and higher level, as I said, the goddess, the divine feminine, has many aspects, faces, emanations, and one of them is the mother. But I also see that that is the root source, because if that, the mother aspect, something birthing forward, was not there, then what would how would the other emanations exist? And we see that in beautiful depictions of the divine feminine, like the Black Madonna with her child, Isis with her child, Mother Mary. There's so many beautiful mother goddesses. This aspect has been kind of not thought about as much, maybe because we have also went into the other aspects of the divine feminine, which is so important. But that we come back to the Divine Mother, the source, to really rest in that. And I did share a Divine Mother meditation a couple of weeks ago, if you want to work with that during Cancer season. But connecting to this divine force that is always mothering and supporting us. And this is, I think that this is what Cancer season is all about. It's a beautiful, feminine, intuitive time, working with intuitive things like divination and energy work is of course very easy and beneficial right now as well. So take your time to do that. There's a lot of themes here that you can work with, and in our online ceremony and ritual next week, we will get into this much deeper, and also the other goddesses that are important for this time in the form of asteroids Diana will be sharing. We are very much looking forward to have everyone there in the circle. And if you do have any questions about that, you can connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, or just email me lovepositivism@gmail.com, or connect with Diana. If you have any questions about Cancer season, any thoughts, you can also connect with me. I think that's everything that I wanted to cover today. There's so much more to talk about, and I'm sure that things have come up for you, maybe ideas, downloads. Write them all down. Also, listen to your dreams. Right now, everything intuitive and working with higher senses right now is very beneficial. Also, as I said, working with your womb, your cycles. We will be doing that, talking about it and practicing some womb clearing to balance our physical, emotional, and spiritual womb in the ceremony. So I'm really looking forward to connecting with all of you again, and welcome to everyone who wants to join. As I said, the early bird discount is up until 25th of June. And remember that we are still in the Litha period, this Midsummer, this week. So doing any ritual work this and the upcoming week in connection to Litha, this beautiful Sabbath of the year, is very powerful. And this is a very almost fruitful and fertile space to grow anything that you need to create and nourish right now in your life. So being in ritual, being very open to working on a spiritual level right now is very powerful, because then the other big point will be the equinox, the fall equinox. In between there and now, we will have also a midpoint, a smaller midpoint, of course. And for the equinox this year, which in our priestess tradition is the conception time, this is when I started last year my priestess training. I will actually be offering a goddess healing year starting from the fall equinox. So it will be a healing journey, working with all of these points, working with the different aspects of the goddess, working with Chinese medicine, yoga, mantras, so many things. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out under Divine Mother Temple on my website, lawofpositivism.com. So we're moving towards that, but right now is a very, very important midpoint of the year. So just be in tune, listen to what's coming up, journal, meditate, and I think that it will be a beautiful, blessed time. And I'm so grateful that you listened today. I will be connecting with all of you soon again, and I hope that you're feeling the divine embrace of the mother, the warmth, the cradling, the nourishing, and the healing. And so it is. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.